lead. And it's, I guess if you were writing a script, this is exactly the way you'd want it, Mike, with the favourites a minute down, one leg to go.
Oh, so much, and it's delighted to see Belarus and the Ukraine putting it together so well. France as well.
The two Scandinavian rivals side by side in lanes 7 and 8. Sweden, the first two going wide, and that's somewhat unsettled the Swedish with Anna-Maria Nilsson.
This is, if there's a positive anywhere for Russia, this is maybe good news. They have a chance to haul back some positions, and they're in 16th at the moment, with these teams struggling on the range. Well, it's Norway away now.
Yeah, it's Svetlana Sleptseva who's on the range next for Russia. And so even if we're out on the tracks with the race leaders, we'll try and let you know how she gets on. She was devastated with her performance in the mixed relay.
Sleptseva just coming into the stadium now, and she's charging along like a rocket.
1:16 behind for Germany.
Scary. That's a margin that's got all the coaches looking pretty tense for Germany. America, that's over 2 minutes behind, maybe 3 minutes by the time they get out of the range and possibly the penalty loop.
Well, I can tell you that Germany in the relay earlier on in the season in Antolz and Selva, they were 1:53 behind before the last leg, down in 5th position, and they still managed to get on the podium. They didn't manage to win that one, but that was with Andrea Henkel taking the final leg. They didn't even have Neuner in the lineup on that occasion. She was still a little bit below par, not wanting to over race at that stage. Germany have won one of the relays so far this year. That was in Hogfilsen, the opening relay of the season. And they're making life very, very difficult for themselves. It's Belarus and Ukraine who have built a comfortable cushion over the favourites. Welcome back. Just a couple of developments while you've been away. Tina Bachmann has just gone through the 2.9-kilometre stage. She has already clawed back through at 13 seconds on the leaders at the start of this second lap. But again, we saw that on the very first leg for Germany with Andrea Henkel, and we know that it can mean trouble. In fact, we saw it with Gössner on the second leg. It can mean trouble if you ski too hard on the middle loop, because the standing chute becomes that much more difficult. The other thing that we have to take note of, Mike, is that Svetlana Sleptseva has cleared all 5 targets, and the Russians are slowly but surely coming back into this one.
It would be a little miracle for them to really get back into this, but I'm just doing the maths, and they have, what are we looking at? 2:45 to make up to get a medal at the moment. And you know, a lot of these athletes here at this stage in the race, they're not the most experienced, so Sleptseva could possibly bring some time back in the stand chute.
Well, the best shooting so far from the Belarus team. They have required only 2 spare rounds. It's a very, very good record so far. The standing chute coming up shortly for them. And Ukraine, 3 spare rounds. France, 6. Italy, only 3 spare rounds. They're down in 5th behind Germany. Germany have done 2 penalty loops already. But don't forget, the men's relay was won with Norway skiing 2 penalty loops. But one of those came on the very last chute. And so that might be a slight difference. They've still got 3 shoots to go.
And the pressure builds. The pressure now is building for the Ukraine, and you can see the tension in faces there.
Chamray looking a little bit nervous, and well, he might. So 2 rivals side by side. Belarus in green and red. The Ukraine in blue and yellow. Pedrushna of Ukraine. Pesarova of Belarus. Pedrushna hit 8 out of 10 in the mass start in the stand position yesterday. Well, what a superb way to finish the third leg. And excitement is building in the Belarus camp. If this goes down, Ukraine are still very much in it with Kostenko on the last leg. And a wonderful final shot. Yes, the race is on. The French still hunting for a medal. Sophie Boilly, this is a massive moment for her. She missed 4 out of 10 in the individual in the stand. She missed 4 out of 10 in the pursuit in the stand.
Tina Bachmann alongside, and the wind, well, it's fluctuating. from the left.
That was a very quick loop from Tina Bachmann. I don't know if we can pick up on what time behind she was coming into the range, and already it's starting to look like an expensive mistake for Germany.
I think she pulled back 8 seconds, in fact, which is quite a margin.
It's starting to look as though Magdalena Neuner is going to have to wait until Ruhpolding next year before she becomes the all-time most successful female biathlete.
Jean-Paul Giacchino looking happier with the French about to go through the timing.
Katja Haller of Italy. It's fingernail stuff for them now. She needs this last target. She's got 1 round left. It's gone wide. Italy are on the penalty loop. Tina Bachmann keeps Germany in with a chance, having been 1:16 behind after the first lap, Mike. She gained 16 seconds on that middle lap, and she's gone and thrown it all away again. Would it have been better to take it easy, make sure of the targets, and gain the time on the last lap?
Well, that's my thinking, but when you're in a situation, the World Championships, you have to give as you can, as much as you can, and you do have the buffer, the comfort zone of these 3 spare rounds.
Nielsen for Sweden, still neck and neck with their great rivals, Norway. Fanny Horn for Norway, 2 wide, 3 spares. The Czech Republic taking a long time to get that first target down.
The wind certainly affecting everybody here. Tina Bachmann's 1:26 for Germany, behind and in 5th place.
Well, this is the strongest wind that we've had so far throughout the race, and in the stand position they're starting to be blown off target. Any change in the technique when the wind gets like this, Mike?
It's almost like reaction shooting. As soon as you see the black target within your sights, it's enough to hit it. You've just to, in a relaxed way, put the final pressure through the trigger. If you snatch it, it goes off, or if you're frightened of the wind, it controls you. You've got to try and control it.
Sweden are going to gain a 150-metre advantage over Norway, who are on the penalty loop, and that could seal their fate. I think they will not be claiming medals today. These are the 3 teams who are hunting for the gold. In fact, Great Britain have now been lapped, so they will be pulled out, but I guess some of them will be surprised that they got this far.
Well, possibly. They've only raced out 1 time previously this year, and they were lapped in that one, sadly. Well, looks like Slepcova's just into the range, so she is hauling time back. But it's still a margin, a huge margin, 4 minutes behind. And, well, the pressure is growing. Kostenko going next and just doing her final warm-up for the Ukraine. Khanty-Mansijsk for the Belarus.
Germany coming out 1:16 behind. We'll try and track the progress of, in fact, even further, 1:26 behind for Germany after shoot number 6. 2 more shots to go, and Neuner is going to have to produce the race of her life if she's going to get back into this. When they go through 4.9, we'll let you know where Germany are. They're now 1:17, so she's gained 9 seconds already on this last lap. So Bachmann's still got a bit of power in the legs. How close does she have to get to the leaders to give Germany a chance?
I think 1 minute, and then Magdalena Neuner just loves this kind of situation. She's almost the pressure's off. All she's got to do is the positives of skiing as fast as she can.
Kostenko versus Khanty-Mansijsk will be the finale of this women's relay, and I guess with the 2 of them together, there is always the possibility that they will heap extra pressure on each other and force mistakes. We've seen it time and time again, particularly at these World Championships. And there's no doubt, Mike, that people suffer the nerves much more at the World Championships than they do in a World Cup.
They absolutely do. When you look at the shooting performances, Patrick, Kostenko, well, she is having a poor season by her past 8 seasons of great shooting. She's well rested. She only took part in the mixed relay, no further races here. And on the other hand, Khanty-Mansijsk has raced 3 times here at the World Champs. Not over-raced and not shooting very well.
Kvostenko for Ukraine, all the way down in 40th position in the World Cup standings, but she didn't go to the USA. And as Mike said, she's done precious little racing here, so she's fresh. Whether she's race fit, we're going to find out over the next 25 minutes or so. This is the race of her life. Can she bring Ukraine to the gold medal? Oksana Kvostenko, 33 years of age, from Chernigov in the Ukraine, sets out 6,000 meters. Some booing coming in from the Russian fans. I'm not sure what that's all about. Belarus in second place. Belarus have so far been absolutely tremendous on the range. Only 2 spare rounds have been required, and that is why they find themselves up with the leaders. Khanty-Mansijsk actually ranked 37 in the World Cup standings, Mike, so the 2 leading women a long way off the best in the world, but very evenly matched.
Absolutely, and well, Kvostenko, when it comes to pressure on the range, I would say she can handle it maybe a little more so than Khanty-Mansijsk.
Maybe the French can come back in and challenge for the win. Marie Durin, who is placed 10th in the World Cup standings, has had a tough programme here, Durin. 8th in the sprint, 15th in the pursuit, 6th in the individual, 8th in the mass start. That is tremendous consistency. And if she hits the targets like she's been doing all season, she might just be able to hold off Germany. 1:10 the margin. My goodness, Tina Bachmann, she may have missed the targets, but she gained 19 seconds on that last lap.
Outstanding performance that from Tina Bachmann, and Neuner has just gone on with one thought in her mind, and that's moving it from 4th to 1st.
Yeah, she could get within 40 seconds on the first shoot. She could be within 20 by the last shoot, and she could just sneak the victory for Germany. If she does it, she certainly deserves the title as the best female biathlete. Welcome back. We're building to a cracking finale for the women's 4x6. The host nation are not playing a part at the moment. Russia, at the last count, were still 4 minutes 44 seconds behind the leaders, having done 6 penalty loops. The worst shooting record. They usually win the relay by shooting well. It's not been the case today, so the defending champions are not going to defend their title. They're down in 14th position. Ukraine and Belarus are just doing a little bit to keep the crowd interested, Mike, because they obviously have very close ties.
They do, and the spectators are totally supporting both of these League 2 teams. They're trying to claim them for their own. And but my thinking is that Germany, Neuner, is going to haul so much time, maybe even 25 seconds out of Kvostenko and Khanty-Mansijsk to come in and start putting them under pressure on the first time in for shooting.
Well, they're not pushing the pace at this stage. They might need to save something for a sprint to the line. And Neuner, if she leaves the range 30 seconds behind, if she leaves the range for the final time 30 seconds down on the leading teams, there is still a very strong possibility that she can pull it back. She is that good. There's Norbert on the right-hand side of your picture. Great to see him back in the crowd. And as we mentioned earlier in the week, he's been ill over the Christmas period, actually. I think he spent Christmas in hospital.
Well, Norbert, absolutely, Norbert Stark